Hey, good afternoon, everyone. It's Sunday Sermon with SG. I just wanted to say good afternoon. I will wait a few minutes to see who pops on here. It is another beautiful day, so if you're not indoors and watching this, you can catch it later on my YouTube. And if you are here, that's awesome. I'm, again, a little bit early, but just a little bit. So today, as usual, confidence coaching and what that is and what that means and what are we going to talk about today. So if anybody has any questions, comments before we get started about what you'd like to talk about, that would be great. Always interested to know. And for those of you who still don't know exactly what it is you want to say or how you want to present it, well, that is why I'm here. So today I am going to talk about confidence and how you talk. And are you actually being true in the words that you speak to others? And most importantly, to yourself. So what are your strong suits? What are your weak points? What are you afraid to say that may affect your friendship or relationship? A career. These are all the things that we're going to discuss. I'm not going to take a lot of time because it is, again, like I said, a beautiful day here in Ontario, and I hope that everyone is out enjoying it. So I have my screen up because there are so many different points and perspectives. Hello. So yes, I have never been one, and anyone who knows me will know this. I am not one to shy away from controversy. I am not one to not get involved and engaged in a conversation. I am not afraid to speak my mind. I am confident in what I say. I am confident in how I say it, and sometimes it's not the most tactful thing to say, but sometimes it's said anyway. But really, those are things that stem often from not a fear of being real and being what you need to be, but it's a fear of disappointing others, and often your self-esteem and your self-confidence is lacking, and so you have fear, you have self-doubt, you have self-esteem, you have all of these underlying things that can stop you from giving people the honest truth, or being confident enough to stand up for yourself, or being confident enough to say how you really feel. So in this climate and in these times right now, everybody has a varying opinion about something else. So it takes confidence often to say something, to voice your opinion. It is allowed and it is okay. And not everyone's opinion has to be the same, and that's what makes life in this world such an amazing place. So don't feel disappointed in yourself. Have you ever walked away thinking, oh my God, I wish I could have said this, I wish I wanted to say that, and it's not how it came out, or it didn't come out at all? These are the things that I'm talking about. These aren't always things that, we need to not voice an opinion about. These are things that we need to voice an opinion about. These are the things that need to be said, but we are always holding back. Often, not all of us, but a lot of us are always holding back from the fear of what we might say or how it might be taken. So, if you can take anything away from this, remind yourself that how important it is to speak with confidence and how you really feel. Don't get stuck in the loop where we all just say what is appropriate, say what is tactful, or be afraid to share your opinion with somebody. You won't end up resenting other people for it. Like, how many times have you been around the house and you're angry because you're doing something and nobody else is lifting a finger? I'm sure we've all been there. How often have you been short with your friends and you're upset and you feel like it's bad karma if you say anything, and or thoughts of your colleagues who seem oblivious to the fact that you're taking on more than your fair share of work, whether it's a house or work. It doesn't matter. Where you're used to spelling out your needs, and you don't. And then you get mad because people aren't doing and pulling their weight. So again, this is house, work, it doesn't matter. You are doing more than the rest, and you're afraid to speak up. By speaking up, you give people closest to you the chance of helping you meet your needs or giving you what you need. I mean, this again is across the board. It is relationships, it is work, it's just your housework, it's just your day-to-day stuff. If you don't ask people, and if you're not willing to be confident enough to ask your coworkers, your colleagues, your bosses what you need, then you're not doing yourself a favor. You know, you'll avoid regrets if you don't. If you continue to be confident in how you interact and ask questions with other people, you'll avoid regrets. Initially, you'll think, oh my God, but afterwards, and things start to work, you won't regret it anymore. And how much like you are other people? And then you have to take that into account. Not speaking out can sometimes lead to a lifetime of regrets, in that it can completely eat you up inside. I mean, life's too short for regrets and to not say what's on your mind. So this all, again, goes back to being confident. And we don't often look at those things as being confident, but they really are. And feel good about yourself. I mean, you will feel good about yourself when you become confident in talking about what your problems are with another human being, and you have a valid complaint, or you have a valid opinion, or you have a valid stance. Then share it. Don't hold yourself back. Share it. It takes confidence. It takes building of confidence. It's about knowing yourself. It's about learning about yourself. It's all of these things intertwined that bring this forward. So, talking about the phrase getting something off your chest, speaking out, particular about important things, and things that are important to you. They're not going to be important to everybody, but things that are important to you, and you still need to get and vent it out. You know, it can feel like a weight has literally been lifted off you if you're really, really clear with somebody. Being assertive is good for you. It increases your self-confidence. And it makes you believe you are taking control of your own life. You know, you love your unusual little family, and that's what we should do. But some relatives can piss us off. Some can, and you don't want to say anything, but do you? And everything that they're doing is bothering you. Is it so hard to tell somebody what you really feel that they're doing that's irritating you? You don't have to be aggressive about it. There's ways around it. You can be diplomatic, but at the end of the day, I mean, you have to express your own feelings, and that's all that is. And you'll get what you want. Most of us feel if you're too demanding and you don't articulate yourself well, so therefore, you know, you might come out with half the requests that you hope the others might fill in the gaps. So you say, it would be great if you could give me a hand for 5 minutes. When what you mean is you stayed behind for an hour to help me, so I might be able to leave work before midnight. I mean, if you say that, and then, or you say exactly what you want and what you need, that's the difference. Do you say what you want and what you need with confidence so that a colleague, somebody in your family, your children will listen to you and not fear you? That's for the kids. So you may say what you don't want more than you say what you do want. So we are guilty of that too. When your boss dumps an assignment on you, don't automatically say that's fine. I mean, we all have lives outside of work, but often we continue to take the work that's dumped on us. Don't do it. You know, you can say, I'd like to help, but, you know, I can't do it at this moment. I've got enough on my plate. I've got enough to do. Can we see how this can best get done in light of the other work that I have? I mean, this rolls over into every area of your life. It's not just work. I'm just kind of throwing it out there as an unscripted, as I usually do. My Sunday sermons are really unscripted. It's just there to let you know that these are all parts of what you really need to do to enhance your self-confidence. Without these little things and being willing to put yourself out there, of course you're going to get pushed back. Of course people are not going to think you're nice. Of course people are going to go, are you kidding me? But that's part of being confident. Being confident is also learning how to put yourself out there and learn to sometimes take the brunt of or the wrath of whomever might come back at you for something. But again, very seldom will that happen. But you have to learn that from experiencing it and doing it yourself. So you'll be truly understood by others. Deep down, you want to truly be understood by other people. Yet without saying exactly what you mean, how are we to know? If somebody doesn't tell me exactly what they want, I cannot read your mind. So much like in my coaching, if I don't know what the goal is that the client wants, how can I help the client get there? You have to first be honest with yourself and speak the truth about what you really want before you can get to be understood by anybody. Again, across the board, it doesn't matter. So it really is key. And how many times have you looked at someone you know well and thought, if you really knew me, you would know ... But how are they expected to know if you never say out loud what it is exactly is in your head? So we're all supposed to be mind readers? No. You have to be able to speak confidently and tell people exactly what it is that you want. That's where you learn. And if you don't do it, you'll never, and you don't start to learn how to do it, you'll never get it across. The point will be, you'll always be lacking in this area. No one will ever really listen. And then by getting your real thoughts out in the open, you may not always be as nice as you'll be 10 times, but you'll be 10 times more real. So, I mean, I don't know. Sometimes it's a trade-off. I know myself, and this is not about me, but I can only, from my own life experiences, is how I also teach and how I also help clients get through and break through their belief system of what's right, what's wrong in their own world, in their own life. So, you know, relationships can improve if you're open and honest and confident and can tell your partner what it is that you want. You mean your partner should be your best friend or is your best friend. And you're going away for a weekend and you're going to celebrate your anniversary. And that sounds wonderful. And at this point, you could do two things because you're not really that happy with it. You could do two things. You could do nothing and stew for the few days that this romantic weekend is nothing like you had planned. But this person is only guessing. This person, because you're not conveying anything and giving that person any indication that's not what you wanted, then they're going to think they've done a very good thing. So actually, we'd like to be we want to own our own stuff. So be honest, be open, be confident. Otherwise, you're going to be disappointed And you're going to be pissed the whole time, at the whole weekend, because this romantic weekend that you wanted with your partner is ruined because it's not what you had planned or what you had thought, but you were afraid to say anything. I mean, sometimes we have to take one for the team and suck it up, but in general, most of us don't have the confidence to tell somebody what that is that we really need, what that is that we really desire, what that is that we really want. Because we are told most often to not rock the boat, be thankful for the things that people give you, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't be. But there are times when you need to stand up for yourself, and these are the times that you need to take ownership for these things. So, I mean, there's 5 steps to start speaking your mind. Always try and look at the bigger picture. See the bigger picture. Often we tend to attach like importance to what we need to say, and then we'll wake up at night and we'll be stressing about it. Whereas the person who tells the person right off the bat, we sleep at night. We don't stress about it. It's not a big deal. We've aired what we wanted to say. We've said what we wanted to say in the most polite and appropriate and confident way that we can. And you are not responsible for what other people are thinking or how they're holding those words. As long as you are saying them clearly and with confidence and in a nice manner, and you have your valid points, then if they get upset, you have to learn that they're just going to get upset, and you have to learn to let that go and be confident that you were just doing what was right for you in saying what you needed to say. And then always ask time before committing to something. I know I'm like set to say no on everything. And it's easier to say no and go back and give a yes. But always give yourself time. I mean, I think parents do it with their kids, automatically a no. And then we go back and we think about it, and then we can change our mind. That's part of the bigger plan. And then make a list of your priorities, your partner, your family, your friends, your work, your hobbies. Because only by understanding your own priorities will you automatically speak up when one of them is threatened. So if your priority is getting your children to the gym, or getting them to school, or getting them to a birthday party, or getting yourself to work, or getting yourself to the gym, or getting yourself to whatever it is that is important to you, prioritize those things. And then don't overestimate nice. Being considered nice is always, well, nice. But it doesn't win you friends. Acquaintances maybe, but not proper friends. You might think that it does the opposite and won't gain you any friends at all by being completely honest, but you know what? It really does gain true friends. People who know you, people who respect you, people who want to be with you, will understand where you're coming from. So, honesty and integrity are far more valuable than the qualities that some friendships are based on, or relationships are based on, or work relationships are based on. And then remember, this is the 5th one, remember, the more you do, the easier it becomes. So we lack a verbal framework for speaking our minds. So our words come out clumsily. And so then they come out hurtful. So that's not what we want either. But the good news is that the more you practice, like I do here, with speaking out, the easier it will be to frame your words thoughtfully and tactfully. So it's about being real to yourself, for yourself, putting your needs and priorities in check, and then defending those. Speak the truth, speak your opinion, tell people what you want and work with that. Don't placate and make things seem unimportant to you. If things in life that are prioritized and are important to you, why are you holding back from speaking and being confident in what you're saying? So if workload is too heavy, tell your boss that the workload is too heavy. If it's a priority to be at your daughter or son's event, then you have to let people know these things. We're not mind readers. So you have to, again, learn these skills. And they are skills. You know, and again, this whole lack of not being able to speak your own mind and goes back to what we've been told as kids. They're limiting beliefs. They're what we're told as young adults. They're what we're raised by. You don't disrespect, so you don't therefore have a voice. That's wrong. You have a voice. You just have, maybe you've lost it. Maybe you didn't know that you needed to, that there was that difference between, maybe you thought confidence was being rude. Maybe that's part of it. There's so many different angles and spins that you can take when it comes to confidence and why we lack it. But practice expressing a clear point of view. You know, set clear boundaries for yourself, with your family, with your workplace. These are the things that will make all of those areas so much easier to navigate in life. I mean, they're all positive changes. Just initially, they're really hard to figure out and do on your own. I mean, you have to take responsibility for your own needs and your own wants. And I know that my clients have a hard time with that, and that's why they're having confidence coaching. But I also know people who are not my clients, and I know personally that can't do this, that have problems because they think they're going to hurt somebody else's feelings. They think that they're going to, you know, they don't want to offend, but yet you don't want to do something. So you have to own it. I mean, confident people are not only going, you know, we're not only good at getting what they want, so they're also good at knowing what they want, knowing what they truly want. And they try to learn more and more about maintainable goals. And using devices like SMART goals, which is something that I use in my confidence coaching, knowing how to set the goals and the goals that will help shape the boundaries. And then they allow a groundwork into discussing what you really need. So again, it's about all of these things. And don't speak to please others. Speak to please yourself. Like, have you ever felt like people expected too much from you? It's going back to that again. Many of us expect others to act a certain way, which is what I was saying earlier, and conform to a certain label. I mean, so that they can meet other expectations, not yours, other people's expectations. I say abandon that. I mean, that's not even realistic. If you're living under that, you're not even living your true, confident self. So the next time you want to speak to something or speak for something, think of how you alone will benefit from it. What you alone will gain. What new ideals or ways of thinking you'll reap from being confident and speaking freely to others. It's always good to do nice things, but you should want to become more confident, mainly in order to satisfy yourself. Confident people want to please themselves first, which then people think, oh, well, their ego, they're selfish, they're this, they're that. We're not selfish. Confident people are not selfish. Confident people are confident and they know what they want. There is a big misconception that selfish and confident are two different things. Confident people aren't selfish. Selfish people aren't confident. So again, I'm going to go back and you're not wanting to step on other people's toes and be rude, but start planning and writing your own bucket list and what you think about for a little while. And perhaps while you're thinking about it, having a shower, having your coffee in the morning, do whatever you can, and then edit it to what you really need. So you're taking a list, you're going to write it down, and then you're going to edit what it is that you really need to filter for yourself. And then it will help acknowledge what's truly important to you and what you want out of your actual life. And this is all just by speaking. This is all by speaking with confidence and with your own truth, and remembering that selfish is not confident and confidence is not selfish. So they're two very different things, but often because we don't give in, confident people will not give in. Confident people will continue to say they can't. We will often say it's not possible. Words like no will flow off a confident person's mouth without hesitation and no guilt behind it, because they've learned what's important to them and what are their goals. And they've learned them and now they're implementing them. So confidence is, again, part of everything that we do in life. We just don't give it the thought and sit down and think about how many aspects of that are actually in our daily life. What are those lists that you make? Do you even know? Or are you willing to write it down? Bring it up here? I don't know. I mean, I know I speak the truth. I know other people who speak the truth. And I know people who are selfish, and then I know people who are confident, and I can tell the difference because the speech, although it may sound the same, is very different. So, I mean, I've been rambling here for like a half an hour. So the truth is, you're not going to communicate more confidently around other people just by reading or listening to this once. You need to practice it. Months, days. It's not an easy process. It sounds like it is, but it's not if you've never done it before. But if you truly want to become assured, assertive, confident, whatever that may be, whatever your goals are, then you have to know that this is overwhelming at first to digest, but will get easier as you use them. As you use these steps, these will get easier. If you learn how to respect yourself first and taking care of who you are yourself and speaking for yourself will be something that, again, will enable you to become stronger, more dependent, more confident. Confident people also surround themselves with confident people. So motivate yourself to hang out with other people that are equally as confident. And then finally, I'm going to leave you with this. If you can speak, you can probably speak confidently. So put it to good use. Whatever that might be, wherever it may be, work, friends, family, we all have our places where we want to just get it together and tell people that we can't do it. Well, this is how you learn. You learn through confidence. So again, in my coaching practice, I use SMART goals, I use journaling, I ask people the hard questions because it's those hard questions that get them to the results that they need and they want and they seek. And that's why they pay to have that, because this is about somebody holding you accountable to the goals that you want to achieve, nothing more. Nobody wants to hire a life coach. Nobody wants to hire us. It's to hold people accountable who can't otherwise see or manage to see the end result and get there. Often, most of us think we can, but when we really truly sit back and give it a really sit down, analyze it, think about it, there's lots of areas that we lack our confidence in. Just because we're good at 5 things, we could be good at 5 more. So I think we often sell ourselves short as well. Okay guys, on that note, that's Sunday Sermon with SG. Thank you for coming on to the live today. I'm gonna be posting this on YouTube, SG My Life, so if you wanna replay it over there, it will. It'll also be on replay here on Facebook. So everybody, you have a great weekend. Take care. Thank you, and we'll see you later. Bye.